namely, you and I watched that game together.
Yeah.
Very typical of Man United, very comfortable, very dominant in the first half. At the beginning of the second half, they completely lost. They conceded 2 quick goals, and it was almost costly yet again. But Sancho, what a performance from him today.
I've always told many people that boy is a proper footballer. If you've watched Jadon Sancho from his days at Dortmund, he's the only player in this United team who is so confident in possession, maybe alongside Paul Pogba. He believes that once he takes charge of the run of whoever is in front of him is just a passenger that he can just bypass and then proceed. He had a wonderful game. Talking about the game itself, look, I have always said that there are times where players need to take some of the responsibility. If consistently you've been throwing a lead away or you've been letting lead slip, no matter how slim a lead it is. So it's been 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. That got slipped. Today it was what?
2-0.
2-0. This is not the coach's fault. It cannot be the fault of the coach. It is clearly the players not focused enough and not doing what they are supposed to do. You cannot tell me that, okay, the Leeds first goal, the one that made it 2-1, that was a lucky goal. If you ask Rodrigo whether he meant that, he will tell you no, he didn't mean that. He was actually putting in a cross, and then he happened to maybe deceive David De Gea, whose position was such that if the cross had gone in, he would have just come out to plug the ball.
Yeah, you're talking about this.
Yeah, I'm talking about this very goal. If you ask him, he will admit that he wasn't aiming at goal. But just after conceding this goal, you needed to, because it was a derby, fiercely contested. They were 2-0 down, very silent. The supporters were all quiet. The moment they got that one goal, that made it a contest. Tactically, United players needed to take the steam out of the Leeds team.
Yeah.
Rather, in front of their goalposts, now under very rainy situation, soggy pitch, then they decided to pass the ball. And very typical of Leeds. They just bounced on them like that, like hungry lions, and then won the ball pressing. And then, boom, 2-2. But there is another positive part of this. Ryan did say something that maybe 2 months ago, if you look at what the team has gone through, this same thing happened against Aston Villa, where they couldn't bounce back to actually get a win. But for them to have done what they did today, in a very tensely, fiercely contested game, credit must also be given to the players. But credit again must be given to the coach, because look, at the time Paul Pogba was Man United alongside Jadon Sancho. Yeah. These two players were Man United's best players on the day.
The substitution was very spot on.
Everything Paul Pogba did today worked. But if you listen to Ryan, he said the reason why he had to effect that change, we all know that Paul has been out for a long period. That is guaranteed. You need to be able to cover the grounds. You need to be able to burn a lot of energy, especially in the middle of the park. So Paul was a bit tired. But look at the substitution. Fred and Elanga. They came on. The two of them scored the third and the fourth goal. That, in my view, was good thinking on the part of the manager to quickly see what most of us didn't, because I didn't agree with the substitution of Paul Pogba.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, come on, man, why are you doing it? Because he's virtually the best player on the pitch. Why substitute? But he saw something that we didn't see. And you want to credit him for the substitution. Look, on the part of Leeds United, I'm beginning to worry for my mentor.
They'll come good. They'll survive.
They'll come good. But look, they've considered the goals
50.
against.
50
goals.
That's the second highest. Only Norwich have conceded more. 53.
And you cannot do that. So for once, I would have thought that, yes, as a coach, it's good to have your philosophy, your identity, what you believe in. But if you look at the fact that they are missing most of their key players through injuries, you need to get them to be a bit difficult to lose games. But if the same thing is being repeated with the inexperienced guys, a very shaky back four, that is not being protected, that is not being shielded enough from midfield, they'll give chances away.
And mention the goalkeeper.
And the goalkeeper too. We all know how unsettled he's been throughout the season. Wednesday, they are going to Anfield. They are going to play Liverpool in that outstanding game. And now I'm looking at it. Look, if United is putting 4 past you at Ellen Road, Liverpool, per the result against Man City, Tottenham against Man City, they know that is the game that will close the thing
Could be a
and make it a
bloodbath.
competition.